The Great Resignation may be over for most workers, but for some top honchos, it's only just begun. The number of chief executive resignations this year hit a record high, according to a recent report by Challenger, Gray and Christmas Inc. Over 1,400 CEOs have stepped down from their positions between January to September, marking an almost 50% rise from the 969 departures over the same period last year. The career consultancy firm noted that the figure is the highest since it started compiling data in 2002. This increase in CEO turnover isn't particularly surprising, said Alexander Kirss, senior principal at the human resources arm of consultancy firm Gartner, explaining that leaders tend to remain at the helm to help steer companies in times of uncertainties. Oftentimes, we see CEOs stay in their seats during periods of turmoil. And we had just that during the COVID pandemic, Russian invasion of Ukraine and other recent events, he told CNBC via telephone, adding that the board of directors for companies usually prefer working with someone they already know during a period of crisis. As such, they are more likely to keep the CEO in place. But as the world slowly moved toward a new norm of living with COVID and away from crisis mode, CEO turnovers also rose. The Great Resignation, which started in 2021, was marked by a mass exodus of workers in the wake of the pandemic, when employees began to rethink their priorities and considered work-life balance. Some employees chose to leave their jobs largely due to low pay and the lack of career advancements. The wave of resignations subsequently extended into 2022, where more than 50 million workers tendered their resignations, breaking the 47.8 million record set in 2021. Since then, the peak of the "big quit" has subsided, with the rate of workers leaving their jobs easing. Some reasons behind the fizzle are attributed to smaller wage growths for job switchers, and a rebalancing of the labor market. Chief executives are taking a chance on new opportunities as well. CEOs are looking around and thinking, "I prefer a position in another company," or "I prefer retirement. I don't want to be a CEO anymore," Kirss said. From the start of the year to September, 68 CEOs left their positions for new opportunities, Challenger's report found. No reasons were offered for almost one-third of CEO exits, while 22% of the departures were due to retirement. In other cases, CEOs are being forced out, the consultant said, attributing these circumstances largely to businesses being plagued with challenges like persistent inflation, tangled supply chains and hiring difficulties, all of which have made it hard for CEOs to meet the objectives of their board of directors. There are a number of business challenges such as persistent inflation, tangled supply chains and hiring difficulties that have made it hard for CEOs to meet the board's objectives.